Before bemoaning the lack of women in the Star Wars fan base, perhaps she, meaning Kathleen Kennedy, should have ensured that the ones who are working behind the scenes on its latest show, The Acolyte, are getting paid the same as the men. Until that happens, all they can do is continue to hold out for a new hope. My goodness, senior contributor to Forbes, Caroline Reed, has called out Kathleen Kennedy on the way she pays her employees. This is wild. What about all that talk of diversity and inclusion and men and women? They all got to be equal, and women have it tough in Star Wars. How is that working out when you don't even pay them? Just wait until you see the numbers. But before we get into the article, can you do me a huge favor and just hit the subscribe button? We're so close to 90K. Can you help me out? We're almost there. I need your help. It's a free thing you could do that helps out the channel. Just one little click and we're there. All right, let's get into this article. Also, you gotta let me know if the background music is annoying. Some people say they love it, some people say they don't. I don't know. I just need a bunch of comments saying, you can keep the music, Jay, it's cool, or no, it's wildly distracting. Wildly, okay? So let me know. You're helping me out. This is the title of the article, Disney forced to reveal unequal pay on the Star Wars show, The Acolyte. Black and international actors fill the show's ranks, leading it to be dubbed the most inclusive and diverse live-action Star Wars project ever. It has also led the show being branded woke, which was supposedly the driving force behind the plummeting rating review on Rotten Tomatoes. Just a day after the show launched on June 4th, its audience score stood at 50%, but since then, there has been a disturbance in the force. Yeah, it's at 13% right now. 13. The article explains that studios that film in the UK receive a reimbursement of up to 25.5% of the money they spend in the country, but have to make a detailed financial disclosure to get it. So now we're going to get into a little bit on how much money was spent on The Acolyte. Pre-production for The Acolyte cost $48.5 million, which is more than was spent on the groundwork for Rogue One. They spent almost $50 million in pre-production, which is like on the same list as their movies. My goodness, where did that money go? And the article goes on to say, listen, we're not making up these numbers. Disney has to provide these numbers. Spending isn't the only disclosure the UK government requires from the studios which film in the country. Any employer with a headcount of 250 people or more is also forced to disclose the difference in pay between men and women on their payroll. All right, here we go. Documents filed by Disney have revealed that its latest Star Wars spin-off series, The Acolyte, isn't actually a force for equality, despite famously featuring a female-centric cast. According to the filings in early April last year, when production of the streaming series was still in full swing, just 30% of the 695 employees were female, and across the entire workforce, women's average hourly pay was almost 20% lower than men's. Also, I have video of when some of the women were calling Kathleen Kennedy asking for equal pay, and this was her response.
No. We don't negotiate with terrorists.
Okay, that was a joke. That wasn't really Kathleen Kennedy, all right? The article continues. Not only does this show the average hourly pay of the women who worked on The Acolyte was 19.4% less than men received, but it was also 13.5% lower when taking the middle number if hourly pay is ranked from highest to lowest. What's more, although men outnumber women in the bottom and two middle hourly pay bands, 53% of the employees in the highest hourly pay band were also male. So what's all that preaching about, we're gonna make things equal for women?
A crummy commercial? Son of a bitch.
That's right, a crummy commercial that is filled with false advertising. That's all this company does, right? They don't really care about this stuff. They just like to preach it, to say, look at us, we're doing good. The article continues. Inequality has been a hot topic recently for Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy, but not this kind of inequality. Defending Hedlund's stewardship of the Acolyte in an interview with the New York Times, she said, I think Leslie has struggled a little bit with it. I think a lot of women who step into Star Wars struggle with it a bit more. Because the fan base being so male-dominated, they sometimes get attacked in ways that can be quite personal. The article concludes, before bemoaning the lack of women in the Star Wars fan base, perhaps she should have ensured that the ones who are working behind the scenes on its latest show are getting paid the same as the men. Until that happens, all they can do is continue to hold out for a new hope. If you made it this far in the video, I congratulate you. You get a gold star. But here we are. The president of Lucasfilm, who was like, there's going to be more female-driven stories, there's going to be female directors, there's going to be female stars and female writers and all that stuff because we're going to balance out this force on Lucasfilm, is not even paying the women that work behind the scenes the same as men. I guess there might be some arguments as to different jobs pay more than others, but according to this article, this woman that wrote this has called her out saying, you have no right to complain about women in Star Wars when you don't pay them the same as men. So you don't get that right to cry. Until you change things, you do not get that right. But we all knew that a lot of this stuff is just BS. This is where Kathleen Kennedy decided to take the franchise. She just wanted to make it her own. She wanted to tear down everything that went before and just, I want to build my own thing. And Dave Filoni and everybody else with me are going to do it for me. And when it's all said and done, I could say, this is my Star Wars. This is me. This is what we created. This is what you're going to get at the parks, in the hotels, in the shows, in the new movies, and all that stuff. Forget the George stuff. This is the Kathleen Kennedy Star Wars. Well, as you can see, not too many people are enjoying it. And the fan base that you have created are some of the most toxic people I have ever seen. It's actually, that should be applauded. But here we are. We got 4 episodes left of The Acolyte. And I'm telling you, man, this show has really done some numbers in the wrong way for Lucasfilm. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Is this just, not surprised? Not surprised. Or is it, Jay, it's too complicated for you to understand? You don't understand these things and how pay works and all that stuff. You don't understand. So get off your high horse. Now, let me know. I'd love to read them. Anyway, that's the video. We'll catch you on the next one.